Hey everybody, this is Secret Squirrel. Welcome back to Secret Squirrel channel on YouTube. The video that you're about to see is the third part in a three-part series encompassing the first stream of the first playthrough of Endzone, A World Apart. It's a post-apocalyptic survival settlement kind of building game. If you like what you see during the course of this video, please make sure you do hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, if you want to catch these games when we first stream them live initially, you can come on over to twitch.tv/Secret Squirrel Games, all one word, no spaces, and join our community over there. We'd love to have you. In the meantime, we appreciate your viewership here, so thanks for tuning in. And I'm going to go ahead and pick it up right where we left off from video number 2. So without further ado, away we go. So that one will be on plastic. There you go. Assign settlers to the refiner profession. Yes, yeah. There you go. Got that done. Assign settlers to the water carrier. I need 2 more water carriers. Done. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society. Yeah, that's figured. Filtering our water. Save on coal. We ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained by a well or from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining coal to produce better protective clothing. Okay, so now we want to build a well. Instead of using the jetty and gathering the water from the lake, I guess is what they're implying, we should build a well instead. So we're going to do that. Build this well real quick. Clear the land. Deradiate the land. Which they did. Oh yeah, and that... Oh good, the radiation level is back down to low. So that helps. It's always good news, right? We need to assign somebody as a well keeper. And our tailor's doing the activated carbon mask, so that's good. Use it to irrigate our fields, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, okay. Not only our water can become a hazard for our settlers due to radiation, but our food can too. We ought to erect a decontamination post to prevent settlers from eating meals that are contaminated with radiation. Got it. Decontamination post. Produces decontamination kits used in the storage of surrounding buildings to free food and other resources from contamination. Alright. Boom. This is its whole area. We only produce food from... Okay, so the highlighted buildings would be the ones affected by it. There's nothing over on the left side. It would be the gatherer's hut, the main Winnebago thing, and the fisherman's hut that would be affected by this. So, does it reach from there? It does reach from there. So let's go ahead and do that there then. Why not, right? Boom. And done. We'll get that deradiated real quick. And then they'll get on with bringing the resources. They need 48 wood, 36 scrap, 6 plastic, 12 coal, and then construction progress. All right. That should keep the radiation from, or we keep the food from those gathering buildings. This, our main building here, where things are stored, our gatherer's hut and our fisherman's shack, or whatever it is, fisherman's hut, whatever it is. It'll keep those from being radiated food sources once this is done. Once this is... Look at them all just Here, you know what? Change your field of work. Come on over here. Make it happen, you people. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? Alright, so now that is done, I need to assign a decontaminator. The decontaminator. By all buildings that stockpile food and are located in a working area in order to purify the food that has been affected by radiation. Got it. What? Good. We need a cemetery? Thank you. About time. We got bodies all over the freaking place. Ooh, that's a big area. That is a large piece of terrain. Okay, well, in that case, because of that, well, once they chop down these trees here, I will be done with this section over here, and I will move this over and start to clear myself a cemetery area, which is what I'm looking forward to doing, definitely. You know what? I don't even need to wait for them. Just gonna do it right over here. Boom. Get after it. Get after it. A lot of people making stuff right now. Yeah, I'm gonna reduce my fisherman by 1. Add my forester. Just gonna have him work on cutting this area down over here. Slowly but surely. Actually, let's change his field of work. Let's get him clearing this whole mess up here first. Get after it, forester. Just so that that's in progress. In the meantime, this area will be cleared off as well, and we'll be putting a cemetery over here, maybe back behind the school, just to, you know, with windows out of the school leading toward it, so we can remind the kids that if they act up, you know, that plot of land is full of all the other kids that used to act up. That's the way we'll tell the tales. Keep them in line. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Don't hate on my tactics. Gotta keep these kids orderly nowadays. I don't need to, you don't need to do the people's eyebrow at me. You put the school right by the cemetery, and it's all part of the Scared Straight program. In fact, that's the whole reason this land is radiated. It was intentional. We did it intentionally just to keep the kids in line. Yep. Because the kids just they were running amok. They were all these little self-entitled little brats. They were running amok, back talking, being disrespectful and everything, completely, you know, it was out of control. So we said, you know what, we're gonna show you. That's what Greta, whatever her name was, whatever, you know, Thunberg or whatever her name is. That's what she's been going on about. She knew that was what's going to happen to the planet if the kids didn't act. She was really sending that message to the kids, not to adults, to worry about, you know, that she was trying to tell adults not to do this to the planet, that kids would start acting right. But no, that's not right. She was wrong. She was mistaken. The kids don't behave themselves, and therefore we irradiated the planet on purpose to teach them. To teach them what's what. And we'll do it again. Oh, yes, we will. Never you mind. We will do it again. We're not afraid. We're not scared. We are not scarred. We will do it again gladly. We'll radiate this planet 10 times over if we have to. If it gets these kids in line. It's probably not obvious that I'm not a parent, but, you know. Oh, well. See? That's what I'm saying. I know. It's not a bad idea. I think people should all get on board with the mutually assured destruction policy of parenting. Fine, you're gonna act up? Well, then I'm gonna act up. The difference is your acting up consists of a tantrum in the grocery store aisle, and mine consists of having the nuclear launch codes. There you go. That's the way it works. They don't understand. Adults can throw tantrums too. I mean, isn't that kind of what's been going on Twitter from the White House for the last 4 years? And there have been plenty of tantrums that have come out of D.C. And not just from the White House, from Congress too. There's been plenty of tantrums. The tantrums always coming out of D.C., so. A lot of just resource boxes on the ground. You guys, oh, there's a corpse. Found another, I think. Yep, found a corpse. A corpse with, and they just put a box right on this corpse. They're like, you know, hold this, Fred. Fred's not going anywhere. We'll hold it. The boars. See, these boars would come over. They would eat this. This is an unrealistic game. This is an unrealistic game. These boars and sows are all right here, and there's a corpse right there. I'm telling you right now, they would eat the shit out of it. Literally, they would eat all of it, the shit included. They would eat everything that comes out of that corpse. Absolutely would. Not even a hesitance on their part. Not even a moment's hesitation. Because pigs don't care. They do not care in the slightest that you were dead, that you were loved at one point. They have no concern about that. They merely think of you as grub-a-dub-dub. That's it. Oops. Okay, so there is going to be a cemetery right there. So we can hopefully start cleaning up some of these corpses. And then we'll put a mortician. Yeah, no salt, no pepper, no Frank's Red Hot, and you put that shit on everything. Doesn't matter. The pigs don't care. They just don't give a damn. At all. Rogue. We have 3 rogues then. 3. Yeah, currently at least. Well, no, 3 pretty much all the time. Yeah. That's funny. It's funny. Rogue. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, it's fine. Do whatever you do. Whatever. It's no big deal. I can say that Henry, or Outlaw Dude, in other words, he is pure rogue. My guy is a rogue fighter warlock currently. So, yeah, he's a little bit of each. He's not very much rogue. He's only got even though we're 14th level, he's only got 2d6 sneak attack, so he's only 4th level rogue, 4th level fighter, and 6th level warlock, I think. Yeah, 4th level fighter, 6th level warlock. So, and then did they explain how this campaign goes? We're kind of doing it in chapters, almost, you could say. One section, and then do a different section, and we're changing. Well, the rest of us at least are changing characters. I doubt that he wouldn't ask you to change characters or whatever, but some of us are changing characters between chapters and stuff like that. Did Brad explain all that stuff to you? No discussion at all. Cool. All right. Well, you're in for a treat then. It's kind of fun. So I will have this question for you though. So Brad's doing this kind of chapter, like he had a tier 1 chapter basically. It's the 7 sins that we're fighting. So there's multiple sins, and each one is kind of, I don't want to say it's not an embodiment of the sin, like a physical manifestation of the sin, as much the boss type of thing, as much as it's almost like a champion or hero, I guess, a representation of the sin, as well as the sin has a more subtle influence throughout and affects people and stuff like that as well. Right. Okay. Well, because of it, though, what we were doing was, the initial concept of the campaign was that the first, when we first made, I don't care, when we first made a first level character, we all made first level characters, you know, for the first one, with our concept being that they would fight the first sin or whatever, which would be like basically a tier 1, you know, section. Of course, we'd work our way up to fighting it at, you know, 4th level or so, 4th or 5th level, something like that, whatever. And then the next, when we moved on to the next sin, it wasn't the same characters. Like, these are basically like squads. There were 3 different squads that were going out, that were being dispatched out from a central location against, and they had like military training, so they all worked together. You know, they had a squad leader and everything assigned, and they would go out after their task, which would be that fighting that first, you know, the whatever assigned. In the beginning, we didn't know what it was exactly as far as a sin or type of thing or whatever, or at least our characters weren't specifically, you know, they weren't briefed that way. They were just told, you know, go and find out what's going on here. And this other squad was supposedly going out to another section, although we weren't playing them yet. And that would be a little higher level squad and things like that. So we basically made a character at 1st level, another character that started at like 5th level, I think, or whatever, and then another character that started at like 8th level or something like that. And then what we were going to do is we were going to play the low level first, finish them up, and then we swapped over to the next squad, and they were assigned a different area to investigate what was going on and all this kind of stuff or whatever. And they started at 6th level, and they had a higher level, you know, mid-range level enemy basically that they were fighting in their area. And then we swapped over to like once that was completed, we swapped over to 8th or 9th level characters, and whatever they started off as, and they, you know, progressed through like 11th level or something like that as they were fighting off the thing that they were fighting against or whatever type of thing. And then we went back, we rotated back, and we upgraded all our tier 1 guys who we'd stopped playing at 5th level basically or whatever. We upped them to, I don't know, 12th level, I think, or 13th level, or whatever it was. No, I guess we upped them to like 11th level or something like that, whatever. And then we played them against another set of, you know, enemy that ended in one of the 7 sins as a boss fight type of thing, as another chapter. And now we're replaying the second group that we had played, but they're upped, and they just made 14th level, for example. When they finish this chapter against this boss, basically, whatever sin, you know, or sins this is, then there will be a follow-on will be in the next chapter, and the third group of characters that we played will be up to whatever the appropriate level is then for that mission. Does that make sense? Are you following? Is this confusing? Oh, I gotta assign a mortician. There you go. I got caught up in explaining instead of paying attention to the mortician thing. It's not a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe we ought to distract ourselves to lighten up the mood. Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's get a bar. Campfire or a pub. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And you'll... Now, what I don't expect that he's going to ask you to make other characters. You'll probably just pick up this character where it starts and just progress it. Yeah, that way the really, really drunks don't have to stumble very far. You know, they just go right over there, and then we just, whatever. You haven't been producing, so here, let me buy you a drink, and then a few drinks, and then this is your annual review in physical form, physical manifestation. Let's see. Well, campfire or a pub. Place to rest and recuperate. Mounted bus. The hell? So I'm imagining that would be in community, right? It should be in community. Here's pub. Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I might have missed something. Did he say something about... Because we have him, the Winnebago, or whatever. Our little Winnebago here that everybody frequents. It's our town center. Campfire and pub are not accessible. Place here. We're gonna do this again. Oh, okay. Campfire or pub. Oh. Oh, okay. I missed that part. Alright, so upgrade our thing here. Got it. Upgrade the building. Done. Get it going. When you get the bus wreck upgraded, then we'll do it. Okay. So, because Henry's first character wasn't so successful, shall we say, and he was a rogue too. He was not so successful. It was now. To be fair, Henry had never played a rogue before. He wanted to try it. Well, it didn't go exactly that. He doesn't think super tactically, so he means well. He really loves just the ability to play because he's gone years without being able to play, and he's really wanted to. So, he, like I said, his rogue wasn't very, he wasn't the greatest, most successful rogue. As a result, he went to it. He already, in the first chapter, his tier 1 character got replaced by his tier 2 character already, basically, because his tier 1 character was nearly dead. So he had to bring in his tier 2 character, and he's just, instead of swapping back and forth at all or anything like that, he's just stuck with that same character the whole time. So he's been the only constant. And he will remind everybody of that almost every session. He will say, well, I've been here every time, the whole time, and all this stuff. You will hear him say it. I know you haven't even met Henry before, so you don't know. But he will make his, so he gets to play his same character all the way through, but that character just transfers over to the other squads. Everybody else is playing a different character with each squad. Oh, that's not true. Not everybody else, because Jamie is also only playing the same character now through every squad. So really, it's just me and Gianni. Because, oh, damn it. See, the reason I say it that way is because Vinny and Phil had also played before, and all of us were changing our characters each time. But Jamie and Henry have constant characters. You're going to probably have a constant character, I would imagine, as well. And that would just leave me and Gianni being the only ones that swap out in the next chapter. The other question I have is, was it ever mentioned to you that when we do these chapters, there's a pause between them? Was that ever said? Because, we'll take a break for a couple of months between chapters. No, I don't mind changing at all. It's not a problem. Yeah, so what we were doing, initially we were doing one chapter, then the next, then the next, then the next. But what we instead ended up doing, because, to be honest, it was my idea, because I was like, hey, between Gianni's other adventure and this adventure and all this stuff, I was kind of getting burnt out on just D&D, and I wanted to play a different role-playing game, or something, or at least a different genre, some kind of a different setting or something like that to mix it up. So I had said, hey, because the reason I specifically said it for Brad's instead of for Gianni's is because Gianni's at the time that we were doing was a constant campaign. It just flowed, each week was part of the same storyline, whereas Brad's was, he was kind of doing this in sections for each of the 7 sins. So it was kind of like I say, I keep referring to them as chapters, basically. So as a result, there was kind of a natural break between them where we would transition to the next chapter, essentially. And at that point, I said, hey, what about if at the end of this, chapter, you know, or whatever, and this is what I said a while back, we try something different. You know, we try a different game for a little bit. It gives Brad a little bit of a break from just having to go right into the next one. He can prep the next one and get it all better, especially once we swapped to Roll20. That became that much more important, or more valuable, I should say, from a GM perspective, because when you're in Roll20, you know, you got to do, there's a lot of cool tricks and stuff like that you can do to make your, you know, the experience better. But if you're having to go right from one to the next, you may not have had the time to prep all that stuff, and it gives you time to do all that. But also, like I said, it gives the players a little bit of a break from playing the same characters or the same storyline constantly, and then you don't want them to get, you know, burn out on the same storyline. And if you're going all the way from, essentially, even though you're switching characters, you're playing all the way from level 1 to level 20, which is what the intent of that campaign is. You know, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to get burnt out probably if I just do that straight. So, what did everybody think? And everybody was like, okay, fine, well, you know, let's see what we want to do. And we kind of tossed around some ideas, and I said, well, I'm interested in like a cyberpunk kind of genre thing, and that's when I said I'll run a cyberpunk game. And I found, so that nobody had to learn a whole new rule set, really, I found a 5e based, you know, 5th edition based cyberpunk game, and we now alternate that with Brad's game. So when this chapter is done, we take a break from his thing for a couple of months, and then that time period, you know, I pick up my cyberpunk one and run it for a couple of months, basically. And then we come back to Brad's, do the next chapter, and then we come back and do an adventure or two of my cyberpunk one, and things like that, you know. That's the way it was working. I don't know if you have any interest in that or not, but it's something to consider. You're more than welcome, you know, if you'd like to, especially since Phil and Vinny have both bowed out of both campaigns for various reasons, and we're short on manpower. You're definitely more than welcome. But I had to unfortunately actually include an NPC into their team, because they didn't have a hacker anymore, and you kind of need one in a cyberpunk setting. So anyway, all right, so what do I need here? Medical facility, I definitely need that. Boom, boom. Oh, that's a big place. Let's make that a little more centrally located, like right around here, maybe. Is it? Okay, it's one longer than the... Okay. What is this right now? This is gather wood. I do not need that here. What I do need is... That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying the games. I mean, that's obviously the intent. I mean, it always just comes down to time. You know, whether people can fit them into their schedule. A lot of people get interested in running a game, for example, also, but then they realize how much work goes into it, and that becomes a factor. You know, just different things like that. But yeah, absolutely. It's I'm glad to be doing it as well. I'm definitely glad that we're doing it as a not in the Adventure League anymore. Adventure League stuff, you know, really, because Adventure League was a all right. Oh, you're gonna do a bard? You decided on a bard? I mean, it doesn't matter. You can do a rogue if you want. I don't care. You know, it's not like anybody's gonna care. It's just gonna be funny because there's gonna be, you know, 3 rogues. But if you want to do a bard, that's perfectly fine. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's the way I consider it. I think it's funny. This is what I said from the beginning, and other people saw me, I'm sure, as just some kind of a negative Nelly about it. But I was like, you know what? I don't like Adventure League. I'm boo Adventure League. I was that way from the beginning, and it has nothing to do with the concept of organized gameplay. It has nothing to do with the concept of, of trying to kind of level the playing field so that nobody's overshadowing other people at the table. I totally get all that stuff. That's all fine. I don't like that they took away the power from the game master, because I've never had a problem sitting at a table and playing with somebody. If they're a reasonable game master, then they can handle their table. They can run it, and they can make sure that nobody's overshadowing others and nobody's getting an unfair advantage and all this kind of stuff or whatever. And I don't like the fact that the intent of Adventure League is to make it easy. It's to promote the game and to make it easy for people to play the game who've never played it and to get introduced to it and everything. The problem with that is, if you show somebody who's brand new to the game, you show them the books and you let them read the books, okay? And they went home and they read the books and they got totally into it. And they went, yes, I can't wait to play this game. This is exciting. This is fun. I have so many character ideas. And they came to the Adventure League table. The Adventure League became the no league as far as I'm concerned. Oh, can I make this? No. Can I do this? No. I want to do this. No. Can I have this? No. That's all Adventure League said all the time was no, 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 no. And I'm like, well, if your whole intent is to be the thing that promotes new players into a level of excitement of wanting to spread and the interest in this game and play this game, why are you saying no to everything all the time? And the reason is because the people who run Adventure League, they want the power over everybody's table instead of the game master having the power over their own table. And they want to tell everybody, you can't do this. I don't care if you're a very competent game master. No, 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 no. This is unacceptable. And that kills it for new players. That kills it. I would much rather be able to say yes, but, or yes, but we're going to modify it this way, or we're going to do it. A GM should have the ability to say, maybe not exactly that thing that you're asking for, but we can modify it this way and we can make something happen still that's going to excite you and get you interested. That's why I don't like Adventure League, and that's why I was against Adventure League from the very beginning, because in my many years of experience or whatever, GM runs the table. Bottom line, that's all that matters, and they're gonna, that's their job, is to make it fun, and they're interested in doing that. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It totally, as far as I was concerned, Adventure League was the no league. That's all they were. So, that's why I stopped playing, especially when they switched to Season 8 rules and they made it even worse. Then I told people, I said, I'm not playing this anymore. And people were, there were plenty of folks who were like, hey, you want to play, get in on this adventure? And I was like, nope, not at all. I have no interest in Adventure League. I will play D&D. And that's the thing, is there's a lot of folks who only know Adventure League because that's how they were introduced to it. And they think that that's D&D. And I used to sit there and tell people all the time, I say, no, that is not D&D. That is not D&D at all. If you read the books and you come to the table expecting that you're going to play that game that you just read up on, you are wrong if you're sitting at an Adventure League table, because that is not D&D the way they play. They hardly have role playing. They have no, logical basis to what they're doing in Adventure League. I always thought it was dumb. You don't find out what the adventure is until after you've already sitting at the table with your characters in hand for the adventure. And it made no sense. I mean, I have like a big, stupid, muscle-bound brute, and then we sit at the table. I don't know the adventure, and then the DM goes, okay, here's the adventure we're going to play, and he reads off, your faction has specifically chosen you to help investigate this deep political plot. And I'm like, really? Does my faction know anything about me? Because why would they have selected me to investigate anything? I'm a box of rocks at best, as far as the mental capacity. My character is there to bust things down. If you want this to be an intrigue and subtlety kind of adventure, well, the faction chose the wrong guy. Why would they send me for that mission? That's just stupid. But you're already there, and you're in it, and it was just dumb. there were too many things with Adventure League that always made me say, yeah, this doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever, you know. So yeah, I think it totally sucks the joy out of it. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to keep you. Go ahead and knock out your bard thing or whatever. I'm sure you only got, what, an hour? Something like that? Hour? Yeah, about an hour maybe. Thanks for watching, though. Thanks for keeping me company for part of this. Yep, later. I have charcoal, I have plums. I still have radiated cabbage, apparently. I've got fish. I got way too much food being produced. Let's reduce my farmer. Take my fisherman out of it right now. We have way too much food. I need to clear this stuff. Where's my scrap area? Do I have a scrap area? I don't see a scrap area. So I'm going to say I need a gather scrap area. I want to put my medical facility over here, so I'm going to put that there. Let's change the field of work for this, just so we can get this a little more immediate. Oops. Yeah, let's get that going. We need, we have too much of that. All of this is too much. Okay, what do we have going on here? Produce decontamination kit. What does this require? 3 charcoal. I've got charcoal. 30 water. I've got water. Okay. What's this require? Anything? Oh, okay. So I can gather from the jetty or lakes. Gather from the wells. No. Turn off the jetty. I'm not going to gather from the jetty anymore. I'm not gathering from the jetty anymore. And, okay, this was the other. Right. Got it. We're only gathering from the well now. Amount of water filtered per charcoal. Got it. Coal is being produced. We still have plenty of wood. Well, that's going to wrap up this third video of Endzone A World Apart. I appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed what you saw, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, if you want to catch these games when they're live streamed the first time, hop on over to twitch.tv/Secret Squirrel Games, all one word, no spaces. We'd love to have you come over and watch. We'd love to have you join the community. Until then, though, have fun and take care.